welcome to the Well of Wellbeing, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking to Kim Beattie, who's sharing a bit about her story, about how she came to be part of the church, as well as how she's been walking out in the season of coronavirus with her family. So welcome, Kim.
Hi.
How are you today, Kim?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being so willing to talk to us about your story. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Kim, and I've been a Christian for about 16 months now.
Amazing.
And I've got a wee little dog walking business. So I do that outside a church, and the rest of my time is spent mostly in church. Even during lockdown, online.
What is it that you do online during lockdown for church, Kim?
Online. So at the moment we have a helpline that we've set up. It's a helpline for people that are needing to chat. That's just been launched last week, and the number is 0333 9000 909. You can call, anyone can call at any time at all, but outside hours of 9 and 9 there will be an answer machine that you can leave your name and your number and someone will get back to you. The rest of the time there'll be someone there to chat with you, so if anybody wants to phone, they can phone. We've also been helping to get meals out to homeless, which has been really good, and that's going really, really well. And we've also been doing like online church services where we come in and we pray for people and help people, and I've set up a couple of wee groups as well, just for people that are struggling just now, like WhatsApp groups, and we've been doing like Zoom meetings and stuff as well, and that's going really, really good as well, because obviously in a time like this lots of people are struggling just now. So yeah,
that's amazing. That's so good to hear. I think a lot of us feel like in lockdown we're all alone, and actually there's still loads on and we're all online and we're all ready to chat to you. So if you ever feel like you're alone out there, if you're watching this today, do give the Hopeline a wee call, and Kim or anyone on the team will be more than happy to chat with you. And you're never alone. And we just want you to know that, there's always a hope, and we will come out of this stronger. That's amazing, Kim. Thank you for sharing that. I remember getting to know you quite well this year, actually. It's been such a journey, and it's been so nice. You've been an amazing person, an amazing woman of God. How is it that you came to be saved? Would you like to share a bit about your testimony?
How long have I got?
3 minutes.
So I came to church the very beginning of last year, and I came to church to find God, because I've been seeking God since I was a little girl and unable to find him, and then I was seeking him in all the wrong places, which led me down quite a few paths that were really, really damaging. I had a lot of behaviours that were coming out in me as well that were really damaging. So I led a life of destruction, a life of addiction, self-harm, suicide. So pretty much my whole life was like that up until recent. And it's all just completely changed. So still challenging, but it's changed. So I walked into Destiny last year, still seeking God, didn't know anything about Jesus. Walked into Destiny, and there I found amazing people, and through those people I found Jesus, who I knew nothing about, and I know him quite well now. I was saved that day, the first day I went in. I ran away at first, I ran back out the door, get chased out the door with my now friends. She says, come back in. I gave myself, and it's been completely, I don't even know the words, it's just completely life-changing. Really, really, like, I always prayed to God, and I always seeked him and always spoke to him, but I never had a relationship with him. Since coming into the church and giving myself to Jesus, I have now got a relationship with God, which is amazing. And there's a scripture, and it's Jesus says, I am the truth, the life and the way. No one can come to the Father except through me. And for me, that's my experience, because I couldn't find him anywhere until I came to Destiny, and through Jesus I found him. So yeah.
Amazing. I'm so happy to hear that, Kim. What would you say to someone who maybe, trying all these things in life and just being pulled in different directions, and just not finding what they want, what would you say to them about the hope that there is in life?
Yeah. There is hope. If I can do this, anyone can do this, because the life that I was leading, a lot of people didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to make it. And just to know now that the peace that there actually is out there, I was never in peace. I was never settled. I was constantly inside me, like mixed up, and my stomach would be going like a washing machine all the time. And the things I went through and experienced, I shouldn't even be here now. I am. So there is hope. If I can do it, anyone can do it. There is hope for anyone. No matter what situation you're in, no matter what you're facing, Jesus really is a healer. He heals today, and it will continue to heal, because he has healed me. So, yeah.
Do you feel like the first time you came to church, was it quite an overwhelming experience?
When I first walked in, yeah, because I struggled to be around people, so I isolated a lot. And I've got a dog walking business that suits me, because I don't really have much contact with people, so I was always kind of hidden. I used to struggle even going to family events. Sometimes I wouldn't show up, or I'd disappear. So coming into church with a lot of people there, yeah, it was really, really overwhelming. And it took me a wee while to actually settle in and actually start, speaking to people, and not running away as soon as the service finishes or sitting up the back. I now sit up the front, or I'm actually at the front serving. So it can be overwhelming, especially if you've led a life that's been isolated, and being around people can be scary. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely changed for me, definitely changed.
What would you say to someone who may be nervous to go to church?
Just come. Just come. It may not, you may not feel like, like right away that you want to start chatting to people, and that's okay. No one's going to force you to chat to them, but just come. I did it. I came and I sat, and after a wee while I get more comfortable. I used to go to my growth group in church in Destiny. We run growth groups through the week, so I would go there on a Tuesday, and I would sit really quiet for about 5 weeks, and I kept thinking, I can't do this, sit with these people. But something kept me going back, and I believe that was God, and I believe that was Jesus. So I kept going back, and then suddenly after 5 weeks, I started speaking, and one of my growth group members was like, "How are you?" So just, no matter what you're feeling, it's okay. It's okay. There's no judgment. Nobody in there judges you. There's no pressure. It's just like, you can come and just be yourself, and if that means sitting uncomfortable, that's okay.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's quite difficult for someone to walk out of their comfort zone and walk into something completely different. And that's amazing to hear, because all our journeys are so different, and some of us are extroverts, some of us just love being around people.
Yeah.
Can talk for ages, and then other people just don't like anyone looking at them. But at the end of the day in church, it's all about you and God, and not about those who are around you. Yes, it's really great to have a good community of people to do life with, but at the end of the day, God sees your heart, and he will reach you where you are at. Right? Yeah,
absolutely.
So, Kim, can you tell me a little bit about the relationship that you and your daughter Rebecca have?
Right, so Rebecca's 21 years old, and she hasn't always had easy, because of the life I led. Had a lot of effect on her as well. So to see where she is now, I'm really, really proud of her. But we've got a really close relationship, which I'm really, really thankful for. And yeah, Rebecca as well is quite, she is who she is. She won't pretend to be anybody else. So she's quite stubborn sometimes. But so that can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. But we've got a really close relationship, and through God, I believe that's going to continue. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. So how has the current coronavirus situation affected that relationship that you've had?
Yeah, so at first, I'll just say as well, my daughter's actually been diagnosed with coronavirus, because she got it from a workplace, so she has now been diagnosed with that, but she's okay, she's doing well, and she's going back to work soon as well, so that's good. Initially, when lockdown first came in, obviously, before we went into lockdown in the UK, I'd been seeing like Italy, and obviously China, and I'd been reading things like the nurses and the doctors and the carers over there like dying, and it was just all chaotic, and I was reading the news quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I was in complete fear, and I was frightened for my daughter. So lockdown comes on, and my daughter's she started wanted to study to be a nurse a couple of years ago, which I was delighted about. I was like, right, because she'd struggled kind of trying to find where her place was and what she wanted to do. She'd been down different roads and they weren't working out, so she was getting quite frustrated. And then she went, Mum, I want you. She has got a really caring side to her. Mm. So the nursing came in, and I was like, brilliant. I was just so pleased that she found something she wanted to do. So I didn't know we were going to end up in this situation a couple of years on. So yes, I was in a lot of fear, and I didn't want my daughter to be working out there. So she's training to be a nurse, she's in different work placements, and she also works in a residential care home. And I was texting her, just give the job up, give the job up. And really, when I look back now, I was probably just thinking about myself, because of my own fears. I wasn't really thinking about my daughter, because she wasn't fearing this. She was actually like, no, this is fine, and Mum, this is my job, this is what I have to do. And I'm like, no. So she got a bit annoyed with me, and and that's when I realised, and it was creating a wee bit of division between us as well. And that's when I realised, like, that I wasn't trusting God with this, and I had to really, really hand it over to God and completely cut myself off to the news. Because the more I was reading the news, the more I was just becoming frightened. So I had to completely cut off. So I done that, and I just get into prayer with God for a couple of days, and he really, 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 really spoke to me, which I'm so thankful for. Because if I hadn't turned it over to him, I would probably be in loggerheads with my daughter. And we're still, we've actually ended up even closer now. So I had to hand it over to him.
So good, so good. When you say you were speaking to God and God spoke to you, what does that look like?
As in, how does he speak to me?
Is it something like you hear a voice, or is it like the Bible? What do you mean when you say that?
Okay, so I find God speaks to me in different ways at different times. So that when I handed it over to him for Rebecca, I could feel, it's not like I can hear a big voice coming down and like it's God. Oh, right, I'm God. It's just like some inner voice that you hear. It sounds like your own voice, but it's settled, and it's clear, and it's not confusing. Whereas sometimes I can have thoughts coming in that will say things like, when I've got fear, I have all these different thoughts, but they're frightening and they're not settled and they're confusing. When I hear God's voice, it's just settling. It's just like clear. It's clear. It's so clear. Sometimes I'll then be directed to a scripture. Sometimes a text will come through my phone, and it'll be somebody will send me a scripture or a song, and it'll be just related to that, what I've just been praying on. Other times a scripture will just come to mind. I'm still learning the Bible. I'm still a new Christian, so sometimes I don't even know what these scriptures are until I get led to them. Sometimes I have dreams. Sometimes I have visions. It's different at different times. But whatever it is, and it's from him, I know now when it's from him, because it's clear. It's clear and it's settling. And right away, just something settles inside me, and I just know it's God.
That's so good. That's so good. I think sometimes a lot of us struggle with hearing God's voice, and to someone who may not know who Jesus is, the idea of hearing a voice sounds weird. So it's just about talking about what we mean. But when we say we hear God's voice, there's so many ways God can talk to us, right? Through dreams, visions, like you said, through the Bible, different verses. And I think the best part about it is timing. When you pray about something and then someone texts you being like, hey, I was thinking about you, hey, this I think this would be really good, and you're just like, wow, that's not coincidence, and that is so powerful. That's so powerful. Thank you so much for that, Kim. That was really good. I'm so glad that Rebecca's feeling better. So you have a son as well. His name is Jordan. What is the relationship dynamic there?
So my son's 23 and I had my kids quite young, and my son was diagnosed with Asperger's, and that's a form of autism. He is high functioning, so he's got his own place. He's actually quite independent, but there's still certain aspects that I still have to help him with to kind of keep him going. So yes, and he's also studying different cyber security just now at college. He's really good with computers and can do anything on a computer.
Wow. I need to talk to him.
He's channeling it through college now, which is quite good. Yeah,
that's good. How has the whole pandemic affected him?
Yeah, so at first it's quite difficult for him because with Asperger's, my son has to have a routine. If he's in his routine, he's settled. If that routine gets, affected, it can just knock him off stride. So there was a couple little meltdowns at the beginning. The night lockdown came, I had to actually run over quickly to my son's house about 11 o'clock at night because he took a meltdown. And I think it was just the whole routine being knocked out of place, and it was like we knew the lockdown was coming, but then it just suddenly came that night. It was like that was it. And my son was saying, I didn't think this was going to happen like this, and what about my driving? He's in the process of going through driving lessons just now. So he was doing his driving lessons, going to college, and he had his wee routine all sorted out. And that was that. He was just completely knocked off centre. So he was in a complete meltdown. And again, I jumped into kind of panic because I hadn't seen him like that for a while. He's been settled for quite a while now. So to see him like that, it was quite, it was quite. On the phone, I actually kind of lost it on the phone with him, and it just made him worse. So I come off the phone and I had to sit and really pray and really invite God in before I could run over there. And then I ran over there and I was able to be more settled with him, which helped because if I'm unsettled, it just doesn't help him at all. So I went over and God's like, just comfort him and just tell him it's okay. And so he was going on like his driving lessons and his college, and because everything was all set in his mind. Even when he was passing his test, that was all set in his mind as well.
Yeah.
So so the kind of meltdowns went on for a few days, but he's sort of back into a routine now. We just like his computer stuff, and he's doing his online college. Obviously, he can't do his driving lessons, but he's settled back into a routine now. So I just make sure I keep in touch with him all the time, and just constantly praying for him. Yeah.
That's amazing. What would you say to someone who may be struggling with family members or in a bit of a toxic headspace with regards to everything that's going on now? Because, fear is infectious, right? Anxiety, when you're nervous, someone catches it off you. So how do you deal with that, like with yourself and then with others?
So I would say, first of all, don't make it about you. Because what I've learned is when I'm fearing things about other people, it's usually my fears and not theirs, especially around my kids. So I would say, don't make it about you. Don't put your fears on top of them. And I would say, hand it over as well. Hand it over to God. Hand it over. Give him it all. Give him it all. Turn to him. God is always there, no matter what. No matter what you're facing in life, no matter what comes up, God is always there. And I know, because like the experiences I've had, God, as soon as I take my eyes off him, I start going into, the fear and the darkness. And as soon as I put my eyes straight back on him, right away, instantly, you feel it. So yeah, hand it over. Don't make it about you and hand it over.
That's a huge, great, big advice. I think all of us can learn from that. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Kim. That was really personal and really blessed us, and I'm sure it will touch loads of people that are watching today. And, we all need to realize how God can equip us to deal with everything that life throws at us. And whether or not we're in a pandemic, we could just be going through daily life. And even in the good times, God is there. So that's a really powerful testimony. Thank you so much, Kim. And thank you to everyone who's watching today on this episode of the Well of Wellbeing. Be sure to subscribe and to stay in touch with all that we have going on. Thank you.